Good afternoon, friends. Hey, let's talk a little bit about sponsors before we get on to today's episode. Let's talk about Speakeasy Leather. Speakeasy Leather is a fantastic company making high-quality, homemade leather goods like wallets, like key fobs, like knife holders, anything you need. Give these guys a holler. You can check them out online at speakeasyleather.com, or you can find them on Instagram at Speakeasy Leather. Really great stuff. They sent me a wallet a couple weeks ago, and I love it. It's classy looking. It's nice. They put the refined Savage on the inside of it. Very cool stuff. Very classy looking. I highly recommend you guys checking them out. Viking Coffee. Evan Armstrong's Viking Coffee out of the Bowling Green, Ohio area. Love this stuff. You guys know I love this stuff. The best coffee I've ever had. Hands down, I love it. Check out our Old Man Strength brew through them. It's the official coffee for the podcast that we handpicked. Evan is killing it. Doing great jobs. Love the coffee. I know you guys will too. Store-bought coffee is garbage. Get off the store-bought coffee. Check out Viking Coffee. VikingCoffeeCode.com. Use the code VikingCoffee10 at checkout for 10% off. Cerberus. Cerberus is the leader in gear and equipment for strongman, for powerlifting, and I want it to be the leader in Highland Games gear as well. I would love to see all you guys geared up with Cerberus strength stuff this year. Check them out at cerberus-strength.us. They've got everything from smelling salts and tacky to belts, t-shirts, and sandbags. You guys need all that stuff. Give them a holler. Use the code REFINESAVAGE10 at checkout for 10% off. Warrior CBD is the best CBD oil out there. They're the best stuff I've ever tried. I love it. They've got everything you need as far as muscle rubs. They've got the sublingual drops, which I am a big fan of. They even have drops for your dogs. If you have spastic dogs that get freaked out over like fireworks or storms or whatever, they will help you. You can give them a holler at Warrior CBD Official on Instagram and get right in touch with Nancy, who will answer all your questions. Or just shoot over to warriorcbdofficial.com and use the code WARRIOR20 off at checkout. Serious Steel has all the gear you need for your CrossFit box, for your home gym, for your college gym, for your, Globo gym, whatever you need. They've got all the equipment you could possibly use. SeriousSteel.com. I highly recommend it. They just sent me a brand new pair of knee sleeves. I am going to put them into use in jiu-jitsu and see how they do, and I will report back to you. I have a feeling they're going to be awesome, but I'll let you know. SeriousSteel.com. Use the code SAVAGE at checkout, 10% off. Stay Classy Meats is the only way to go. I am 100% fueled on Stay Classy Meats. Carnivore diet. I have the wife pick up some eggs every week at the store. Other than that, I am fully on board eating Stay Classy Meats for every meal. It is the best. I keep telling people keep shooting me messages about Stay Classy Meats. You just got to try it, guys. It's not that expensive, especially when you realize you're buying in bulk. So check them out. Check out their boxes. They all different kinds of boxes. You can do a build your own box, whatever you want. If you have questions, give me a holler. I'll help you with any kind of questions you might have as far as what I like in the boxes. I highly recommend their bison of any kind. Awesome stuff. Give them a holler at stayclassymeats.com. Use the code SAVAGE at checkout for 10% off. Iron and Stone Strength, one of our new sponsors and one of my favorites. Great people up there in the Buffalo, New York area. They are having a competition in December called Feats of Strength. You want to check that out. In the meantime, go to the website, start buying gear, man. He can't keep gear on the shelves. It's leaving so fast. So awesome gear, super comfortable stuff. IronandStoneStrength.com. Use the code REFINEDSAVAGE. Check out for 20% off. Finally today, Roadie Sport. Roadie Sport is run by Justin Roadie, former professional shot putter, 2012 Olympian. He wants you to know about his Jolly Big Throws Clinic. That's going to be December 21st. He's going to have some of the best throws coaches in the country there helping athletes. He also wants you to know about the shot put glove. So if you are throwing heavy shots, heavy stones, lots of volume, you don't want your fingers wrecked, check out the shot put glove. I highly recommend that. You can give him a holler at roadiesport.com and use the code SAVAGESPORT, all one word, all capital, for a discount at the site. Today on this show, we have functional fitness athlete Erin Vandendriessche. Can't believe I got that name right on the first try. Erin Vandendriessche. And I screwed up on the second. But anyhow, Erin is a fantastic athlete, has been killing it in competitions, made it to the games, is just a fantastic human being and a great athlete. And we had her in the studio along with one of her friends. She brought a friend in case I was a axe murderer, which I highly recommend anytime you are going to meet some stranger online. Anyhow, it went really well, and she is a fantastic human being. I think you're really going to enjoy this podcast. Share it with all your friends and do some burpees while you're listening to it. Have fun, guys. We'll see you at the end. All right, Erin, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, keep this thing as close to your face as possible. So
yeah,
make sure,
last
because your voice
is... no one could hear me. So
what were you on last time?
Julie Foucher.
Oh, yeah.
What's their podcast called? Pursuing Health.
Pursuing Health,
yes.
Right.
So I had a little headset on, and no one told me I had to actually talk into the
microphone,
so, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, I've heard her podcast a couple times. She actually works out at Black Flag CrossFit, where Tom Reeney's been on the show a couple times, and then Pal Wenzel, who do you know Pal?
I've heard of him.
Yeah, he runs Black Flag. I don't know if they call it Black Flag Athletics or Black Flag West, but he runs that place. So Pal's been on the show like 100 times.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
very cool.
I got to get Julie on one of these days. She'd be really interesting. I'd just like to know about the old days, you know. I mean, she was in that transition class between the old people and the new folks.
Absolutely.
And where are you training at?
So my husband and I own Route 18 CrossFit.
Oh, I didn't know you owned it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yep.
Cool.
So 7 years now.
What's your husband's name?
Erin Vandendriessche.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to have you phonetically point out that name for me. So
literally nobody knows.
What was your one hashtag that you? I was looking at one of your pictures, and it was a hashtag about your last name, like.
Oh, for my wedding, it was Vanden what?
Yes,
hashtag
right.
Vanden what? Yeah, because no one knows how to say it.
What were you before that?
O'Donnell.
Oh, yeah,
yes.
That's
way easier.
Wow. I was gonna say I can't imagine like being a little kid and him having to learn how to spell that name.
Right. I think he had a song for it to learn it. And there's six boys, so I don't know how they did it.
Wow.
Luckily, we dated like 5 years before we got married.
Where are you guys from? Like, I mean, where did you grow up and everything?
Carlin's from Medina, so that's where we live now. And then I'm from the east side, so it's called Perry by Mentor.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Lake. Yep.
Yeah, and we had your friend Fee on the show last week.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Fee.
Yeah, she's fun, man. We had a good time.
Yes.
She, you see you girls in the pictures, and I should know better by now, but I expect to see you and expect you to be like 6 feet tall because you all look, jacked in the pictures.
Yes.
And then Fee jumps out. And I'm like, oh my god,
like 5 foot. Yeah, I know. She is little, but she's mighty.
Yeah, right. So how did you get in? Were you into athletics as a kid? And
yes.
What did you do?
My whole life basically was just a giant competition. So I was in gymnastics from the time I can remember when I was little all the way up through high school. And then one of my teachers asked me to try diving. He's like, it's kind of like gymnastics. And I was getting kind of burnt out of gymnastics by that time. So I started diving. So I did both sports in high school, which were the same season. And they're year-round sports, so I pretty much didn't have a life.
Yeah, right.
Growing up, it was just always gymnastics or diving practices with a little bit of homework mixed into there. And then in college, I dove at Baldwin-Wallace.
Oh, okay.
So
how was that for you? I mean, did that lifestyle suit your needs, or were you more like, geez, I wish I could go out with my pals?
No, I think it was perfect for me.
Yeah.
The BW is a small school anyway, so there's not really much going on, but I always needed structure, something to keep me on the right track. So
I actually wanted to go to Baldwin-Wallace when it's so different. So I graduated in '92, so the internet was barely a thing. I don't even know if it was a thing. Like, I never used a computer till I was like out of college. But Baldwin-Wallace was like the school I wanted to go to.
Really?
And I ended up at the University of Toledo because it was, quote unquote Division I.
Yes.
That was a big deal, you know. I should have went to Baldwin Wallace though, 'cause it's such a cool little college town.
It is. It's cozy.
Yeah, not too far from Cleveland, and get everything you need out there. Pretty campus, and
yes,
very cool. Okay, so you go through BW, and how'd you end up getting involved with CrossFit?
With CrossFit, so my husband and I graduated with our undergrad, and he's international business and finance, so he was trying to figure out what he was going to do with his life, and I had a pre-physical therapy and exercise science degree. So we were just sitting there one day watching ESPN, and CrossFit came on. We had absolutely no idea what CrossFit was. We're like, wow, that looks fun.
Yeah, right.
And he competed in soccer. He was a soccer player his whole life, and he played soccer at BW. So we're like, that'd be cool if we could start a CrossFit gym. We were just joking. We didn't know anything about it. And his dad actually had a building in Medina that was vacant. It used to be a dance studio. So it literally took probably 3 months to get started because you don't really need much for a CrossFit gym. Right. And he got certified, went and got his L1, and we opened a couple months later, not knowing anything about the sport. So yeah, it just grew from there.
How many members do you have out there? Probably ballpark. I know it's hard to answer.
Ballpark, I think around 150 right now.
That's good.
It kind of changes.
For that area.
Yeah, and we have a small gym, so I think we're pretty much at capacity right now. We probably need a little bit bigger gym.
Yeah, we started out in about 1,000 square feet, and within like a year and a half, we had like 75 members. I was like, oh shit, we got to do something. So we moved out here, and we always hang right around that 100 member mark, which. It was funny because we got the kind of the analytics of what your gym. I can't remember where we got it from. It was from CrossFit or whoever when we were affiliated. But it was like how many members you should have in the location you're at, and it was like 100 members. And I was like, we're gonna get way more than 100 members. And it always just hangs right there at 100 members
right around
for the populations there. Around you and everything. Which it's a good thing though, because you get that group 150 people. There's some theory, I can't remember the name of it, where you can only really have relationships with like 100 to 150 people before you start getting it thinned out.
Right.
So that's probably a good thing right around there.
Yes, we are all very close. We are definitely a family at our gym, so I think it's a perfect number. Yeah,
that's good. You can keep track of everybody and.
Absolutely.
Not too much drama and emotion going on. That's the key, I think. Right?
Absolutely.
So then when did you start competing?
In CrossFit?
Yeah.
So then I went back, graduated, and then decided I didn't want to be a physical therapist. I wanted to be a nurse. Mm-hmm. So I went back. It was a 12-month accelerated BSN program back at BW. So I was still doing CrossFit then, but not, it was just maybe 3 times a week.
Right.
Wasn't really doing it for real. And then I graduated with my nursing degree and continued on the just doing CrossFit for fun track for another probably 2 years. And then 2015, I want to say, so 3 years after we opened is when I think I started doing like local competitions and realizing like, okay, like it could maybe be kind of good if I just like gave a little bit of a shit. So started going to more classes and then staying after and doing some like, extra running, stuff like that. And then also 2015 was when my training partner Josh started our gym. He'd never done CrossFit before, so he just walks in and just naturally strong and
some of those guys are like that, right?
Athletic, yeah, and it pissed me off. Yeah. I was like, who is this guy trying to beat me? Like, no, not in my gym.
Right.
So then I started to really kind of ramp it up, and him and I started training extra before and after class, and then did more competitions. So then that's when it really started to ramp up, 2015, and then 2017 was when I made regionals for team. So that was when Fee first went to regionals on a team as well. And then...
And your team was from Route 18?
No, my team I was actually in Julie Foucher's team.
Okay.
So it was out of Seatown CrossFit in Cleveland.
Okay, well, that's right. Yeah, I remember she was out there.
So that was really, really fun. And then 2018, I made it individually to regionals. And then obviously this past year made it to the games. So
what So go back to that first time you make it out to. Oh, this is the first time you made it to the games was in 2019.
Yes.
But as a team, had you gone before?
Mm-mm.
Okay, just
never
to
to the games, just to regionals twice. Yep.
So that's a big deal in itself. Making it to regionals was always like it wasn't. So my wife made it to regionals when she lived in San Antonio. This was like 2000 and I don't remember when I met my wife. It was like 2010. So the sport was still pretty new.
Yeah.
But that used to be a huge deal for people around here who maybe knew they weren't going to make it to the games, but just to get to regionals kind of sets you apart.
Completely agree.
Yeah. I mean, were you so super psyched that first time?
Yeah. Like my ultimate goal, like I think I made a video for a video contest for the CrossFit website. I even said in there, like, my goal in CrossFit is to make it to regionals.
Yeah.
Like, never in a million years would I imagine, like, making it to the games at that time. And even, like, 2 years ago, I never thought I would make it to the games. And then they changed everything, and I'm like, forget it.
Right,
like, I'm done. Whatever. I didn't even do the CrossFit Open last year because I was so, like, I'm just a stubborn brat. And, I'm not going to get top 20 in the world. I'm not going to do it. Like,
if they're not going to pick me, if they're not going to let me do it the way I want to do it, forget it.
And I was so mad, and so I didn't do it. My dad, my dad doesn't really know a lot about CrossFit, but he is, like, my biggest fan. I remember him calling me saying, Erin, do you think you should maybe just sign up for the Open? Like, you never know what could happen. I'm like, Dad, no. I'm not going to be, like, 5,000th in the world. I'm not doing it. I just don't want to do it.
Right.
And then
how many were they taking for just from the Open?
20 in the world. Top 20.
Top 20 in the Open in the world, and everyone else has to qualify.
Woo, and then everyone else has to win a sanctional. Yeah. So I remember I still did the workouts with our gym just for fun. We do it on Friday night. Like, the whole gym comes and watches, and I was having a blast. Like, not like putting so much pressure on myself. Like, just doing it for fun for the first time in 6 years. And then I remember tracking Fee, and she was up there. She was like she was going to make it to the games through the Open. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, this is insane. I'm like, maybe I should have tried, because, my scores weren't too far off from her. She would have done better than me. But I remember my dad calling me again. He's like, damn it, Erin, like, I knew you should have signed up. Yeah. So that was the first time that I, like, started to actually, like, believe that I would be a competitor with everyone else.
Yeah.
So.
And then how did you end up getting to the games? What did you win to get there?
So I went to Italy in April and won the Italian Showdown.
Okay. Didn't Fee win one in Italy too?
She went with me to that one. Yeah, she got second in Italy. So that was unexpected but really, really fun. Yeah. Yes. So I wasn't even going to go to Italy. I was, like, checking flights, and I'm like, I can't. No, I'm not doing this. It's too expensive. And my mom's like, no, we'll help you. Like, you need to do it. Like, one day you'll tell your kids, like, I got to compete overseas in Italy, so just do it. Like, fine. So I signed up, went, and then the whole weekend, like, I was in first and kept staying in first, and my mind was blown. Like, holy moly, this is crazy. And then after I won it, it was just, like, something I've never experienced before. I came home, and my gym was just, like, freaking out. They had, like, a whole, like, party waiting for me when I got back. It was the coolest moment.
It's a huge deal. It's I've talked about. I think I talked about it with Fee. We've had two girls back when we were affiliates who had the one girl, Paige, who was a swimmer, was just a fantastic athlete. She had everything it took. She had the right body type. She was a super athlete, very strong and a really light body weight. Had cardio like crazy, had a family tragedy, and it derailed her. Yeah. I mean, just derailed her. And it was her father dying, and you can't blame her because, I mean, when you're super close to your father and you're 22 years old, you can't. And now she's happy and has kids and the whole 9 yards. And then we had another girl, Jerry, who was probably even better than her. And here's a girl who was 120 pounds and squatting 350 and, clean and jerk 225. But she hated the pain of Metcon. Yes. She just didn't have that mental, I have to kill them, Yes. So it's very difficult, to get all of that in one package. And I think that's what's so impressive to me about CrossFit athletes in general is that I kind of sit in both camps. So, I have a lot of friends. I was a professional strength athlete, so I have a lot of people in that camp. And then I have a lot of people that I'm friends with in the CrossFit world. And it's always this shit talking. And it's like, have you seen what these athletes do? I mean, I saw Rich Froning doing like a 365 overhead squat at the games one year. And I was like, when I was at my absolute strongest, I could not have done a 365 overhead squat.
Isn't it crazy?
What does he weigh? 180 pounds or something?
Right. And then you have to be expected to go run, under a 6-minute mile. It's just insane.
And that's, to me, and where I am in my stage of life right now, that's what's impressive to me. And say what you want about CrossFit, the company or the business or yada, 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 yada. The athletes are so impressive to me because they can do everything. Mm-hmm. And anything you guys are called on to do, it's like, yep, we got this.
Absolutely.
And I think it's the same way with them getting rid of regionals. I think at first for you guys it was kind of a shock, but it's like, okay, now we'll just do it a different way.
Right. I mean, there's not really much you can do. You just got to kind of go along with it, and you have to, exactly what you said, you have to be just ready for anything.
Yeah. And it seems like the same athletes are winning, so, I mean...
Exactly.
What's your plans this year for? Are you going to do the Open?
Yes, I'm definitely doing the Open.
They moved it until is it next week?
2 weeks.
2 weeks,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. So I just recently found out that all the sanctionals that are all around the world, about half of them are dependent on the Open, on how you do in the Open.
So are they taking, you have to be in the top 25 or something?
Top 20 again, I think. But the qualifiers to these sanctionals is the Open. So you'll submit your score to the Open, you'll film everything. And depending on how well you do in the Open, that might qualify you to half of these sanctionals. So they don't have a separate, qualifier.
Right.
And then the other half do. So it depends on how well I do in the Open for those sanctionals. And then there's a few others that we're looking at. We're gonna try to go for. Like there's one in Egypt, which would be just insane. And there's one in South Africa.
Security with you if you go to
I know. I would take everyone.
I had a guy from SEAL Team 10 on the show yesterday. Maybe we can
hire
him out.
Convince him to come.
Right.
So, that's the plan this year. So, do as well as I can in the Open, which probably means repeating the workouts a few times, try to get the best score, and then go from there. If I don't make the top 20, then just move on to the next qualifiers.
Let's say you make the top 20, and they're only taking the top 20 at Wadapalooza. So if you decide, I'm not going to Wadapalooza, will they take the 21st girl?
They're different with the back, what is it called? Backflowing?
Right. It just would make, it's the only way I would think that it would make sense to get more, because if you're in the top 20, why would you try to qualify again?
Right. Yeah, they definitely, they'll take like the top 20, and then if someone decides they're not going, I think they'll keep going down the list.
So you could technically be 45 and still get an invite because you're the 20th best.
I believe so. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. It's just a little different, and you're the third CrossFit athlete I've had in here in the last 2 weeks. And everyone's like, it was a shock at first, but now we figured it out, and we're going to just do it this way.
Yeah, you got to get over it and keep moving on. Yeah.
The Open's fun, right? I mean, it's people get all jazzed up for it and anxious. And
yes, we have a big thing that we do at our gym where we have 4 teams, and then 4 captains. They pick people from the gym who want to do the Open, and then Friday night we duel.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's like a Friday Night Lights. Black Flag, I think, does that too.
Yes, they do. Yep.
Craziness.
Yeah, and it's cool to go around and kind of see all your friends do the workouts,
We don't get any of that nonsense here. There's no team building. We're just in here lifting shit and training.
Just lifting heavy shit.
Yeah, right. We don't... my wife's always like that. We should have, the fun workout where everyone dresses in costumes. I'm like,
we've done that the last 5 years. I don't think we're doing that this year.
Yeah, that's fun. That's part of that community building that, especially if you're a gym owner, you need to figure out ways to do that. And we do it through heavy sarcasm and
I like it.
and just railing on each other, which works out well.
Absolutely.
So tell me about training. Like, what does it look like nowadays? I mean, first of all, are you working as a nurse too?
I'm not.
Okay.
So I stopped working at the hospital a year ago. I was in labor and delivery, which I loved at Akron General.
Okay.
Loved labor and delivery, but it was the 12-hour night shift that was just rocking my world.
Yeah.
I mean, I did it because I had to. I worked in the hospital for 4 years, I think, on a neuro floor, and then labor and delivery. But
do they have like a rotating shifts?
No, I just was sick of. I was sick of neuro, sick of the sad things that I was seeing every day, and I decided to go into something a little more happier, which it was. It was great. I have a lot of memories from there, but I couldn't do the night shift and also like keep track of my nutrition and make sure I'm sleeping enough, because I could not sleep when I got home. I slept for maybe an hour or two, and then I'm like, I need to be at the gym. Like, that's where I really want to be. That's where I'm focusing all my attention. So I was just thinking of something that I could do, still make money, and accomplish what I want to accomplish, because you can only do this for so long at this intensity.
You have a very, very short window.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can always be a nurse. My license is still active. But yeah, you can't do this for long. So my best friend Josh, he was like, you should do meal plans for people. Mm-hmm. I'm like, no, like, how is that ever going to work? Like, no one knows like who I am, whatever. He's like, trust me, it'll work. So that's what I did. I started Body by EV, and I do meal plans for about 55 clients every week.
Is there like Instagram for this?
Oh yeah, okay. At Body by EV.
I'm gonna pull it up while you're talking. At Body by EV.
So I started doing that, and surprisingly, actually made more money than I was at the hospital. So it was perfect. And now I can train whenever I want. Basically, we do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We rest on Thursday, and we train Friday, Saturday. Rest on Sunday. So 2 rest days, and 5 days a week we are full go.
Look at you, body transformation pictures and that, and all this stuff. Very
My
cool.
People. Yeah, that's awesome.
My wife does that for people. Do you do the meal prepping too, or meal planning?
Just planning.
Okay, she does both, depending on what you want. But it's a lot of work to meal prep.
Oh yeah.
Trust me, because I get dragged into it every week.
Absolutely. But, that's the hardest part for people is I give them everything they need to do. You just got to cook it. You got to figure out how to prep it.
So, for people like you and me, that's easy. Mm-hmm. How you eat properly and have that discipline not to eat shit.
Yes.
Do you have people who are just like, I've told you what to eat. Here's the plan. I've given you everything you need to succeed. Why are you not doing this? Right.
Yeah, I have that a lot. So, and I also have heard every excuse in the book, like why they're up 1 or 2 pounds, which, I mean, it doesn't matter to me that I'm helping you to try to achieve your goals. So what I found is that if people don't have like a very set, like why they're doing something, like very thought out goals, and I want to get to this weight by this time, or I want to look like this by this time period, they're more likely to fall off. Right. So I think having a set goal, writing it out in your own handwriting is super important. I used to do that with all my clients. I would give them a paper, have them write it down, stick it somewhere that they can see it every day, and that kind of helps you keep going. It helps me keep going, because I want pizza mostly like 50% of the time. So it's nice that my wife does it now, because it was always super difficult for me, because I'm a little bit of a psychopath. So so I kind of get off on the discipline part of it, the denying yourself of things that aren't good for you, and but that's not 99% of the population. Absolutely
they
not.
want their beer on the weekend and their pizza on the weekend, and I feel best when it's like, I've just gone through a 22-hour fast, and I feel like an animal, and I've taken all this away from me, and I've still made it through, and that's, for me, that's good. Yes. But now it's like people come to me for nutrition advice, and I say, go talk to Erin, because she's going to be sympathetic towards you, and understand that you have cravings and all this nonsense.
Yes.
And
I do try to work those cravings into there. So, like, some people are like, they come to me like, I want to lose this much weight, but I have to have wine every night. I'm like, okay, whatever.
She had a guy yesterday who tells her he drinks 5 beers a day.
Oh, gosh.
Every day.
That's a lot.
She's like, okay, I've got to work that into your macros
somehow.
Yeah,
so it's doable, but not optimal for sure.
Yeah, she said, you're not going to eat any carbs. On days you drink 5 beers, those are your carbs, you know?
Exactly. Is your wife's name Erin also?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yes.
Cool.
And she's also a nurse.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So how is it for you diet-wise? Like, are you just more...
I follow macros, so I pretty much eat the same thing every day. So I'll wake up and have, like, are you talking about specifics, like what I eat every day?
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, with the amount of training you do, how many calories you have to take in to be healthy and not exhausted.
Right. I think that's a huge part too, is making sure that you're eating enough. So I eat just under 3,000 calories a day. When I was training for the games, I was a little bit more, but I usually am around like 2,800 calories every day. So it allows me to train as hard as I want to and not be a grumpy.
And my guess is eating 3,000 calories a day, I think what people don't realize is you can do 3,000 calories a day at McDonald's and do it really, really, really quick.
Yes.
But 3,000 calories a day of eating healthy and clean is a lot of food.
It is a lot of food. Yeah, it's a lot of, there's not many carbs and vegetables, so you have to get it a lot of sweet potatoes and oats and stuff like that, some more complex carbs.
And, if you don't know Erin, check her out. She's jacked. She's cut up. It's not like you're storing body fat or anything.
Yes. I eat the same thing pretty much every day, so it's really easy. But, no matter, like, what calorie range you're at, if you are eating the right things, lots of vegetables, I mean, you're going to feel full. So if you're eating, like you said, McDonald's meals where you have, like, burger in there, your macros are going to be used up pretty quickly. Right. So you just got to be smart about what you're putting in your body.
I can't even imagine going to McDonald's and getting a cheeseburger.
No.
Oh my God. I don't know what it would do to my body. Like,
it's
I don't know, I'd be able to come out of the bathroom for a week if that happened to me.
I know.
It's not food.
It's not. It's so bad. I think my one, like, what do I dream about the most?
Pizza's big for me.
Yeah, pizza is huge. Have you heard of Ohio Pie? The new pizza place in was it Brunswick? Oh my
That's
God.
Not the guy who
it's so good.
Run by the guy who Live Large.
Yes.
Is it the Live Large guy?
Live Large guy. Yeah.
That guy needs to get on it's
you
my
gotta
fault
have him here.
I haven't contacted him yet. We've had like a bunch of his sponsored athletes in here, and this is the second time his pizza place has been brought up on the show, and every time I say I gotta get him on the show, and I never think to do it.
So good. It's different. It's the sauce is sweet, and I think the sauce is on top of the cheese, like opposite. So
that's
dope.
Italian, right?
It's pretty sweet.
I haven't had a pizza since 2012.
Get out of here.
I had blood sugar issues. So when I was a strength athlete, I weighed 312 pounds. Okay. So I was gigantic.
Yeah.
And I'd always had blood sugar issues. And I've told this story 100 times on the podcast. We were in Antigonish, Nova Scotia for a competition, and I just got in the shower, and we kind of switched. My wife went in the shower, and we were getting ready for dinner. And a couple hours earlier, I had like a big bread thing, and she comes out of the shower, and I'm passed out on the bed, just out. And she's like, what's wrong? Trying to wake me up, and it was just blood sugar. My insulin would turn off and wouldn't turn off until all the blood sugar was out of my body, and I would just crash.
Oh, for real?
So I said, all right, let's try this. I'm just not going to have any more sugar or carbs and see what happens. So before anyone knew what keto was, I was doing keto.
Okay.
So I've been doing it since 2012, but that's the one thing I miss is pizza.
Yeah.
Not enough that I would actually try it. Because I'm sure, again, I think I would feel like crap if I did it. But
yeah, most likely.
I'm full carnivore right now, so
yeah,
it's like just meat constantly.
All right,
it's
cool.
great.
Hey, whatever works for you, that's great.
I don't recommend that to people, but for me, it works really well. I think being keto adapted since.
What's your go-to? Like, what do you eat every day?
Well, steak. Yeah. Right now, the show is sponsored by Stay Classy Meats.
Okay.
That's been a lifesaver.
Nice.
Because I get, like, once a month, I get this huge cooler filled with 40 pounds of meat. And it's just like, it's like Christmas.
Heaven.
I'm opening it up. I'm taking videos, showing it and everything.
That's great.
And I think they're getting a kick out of it because that's all I'm eating is Stay Classy Meats.
Yeah.
And it's kept me going.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
then.
It's really good stuff.
Nice.
So Stay Classy Meats out there. Get a hold of me. I'll give you the
Holler.
code. So we're getting ready for the Open.
Yes.
What's training look like? I mean, are you doing? I'm guessing you're doing a couple sessions a day, or
yes. 2 every day.
Like one heavy and then one Metcon, or a little bit of both.
Usually what it looks like is we get there, we warm up. Usually we don't start until like we've been there an hour. Just make sure our bodies are nice and warmed up. We do a strength. We follow Misfit. I don't know if you ever heard of the online programming. Okay. Led by I think like 5 guys who write it. So we follow basically everything they tell us to do. We do a strength. We do a Metcon, and then there's usually something called bitch work that is usually just like monostructural, like run all these meters or bike all these meters, calories, stuff like that. We save that for the afternoon time because that is hard and we need more food in our bodies to do that. Right. So, we'll train for about 2 to 3 hours in the morning, take a break, go eat a big lunch, try to recover a little bit. So we all have memberships to the rec. We go sit in the hot tub for 20, 30 minutes, get out, relax, and then go back for an afternoon session for probably another 1 or 2 hours.
And you're doing that 4 times a week, you said?
5.
5 times.
Yep. Whew. So it is a lot, but
that's
I can't
a full-time job.
It is a full-time job, so that it's perfect with the meal plans because I can do them right from the gym or from my house. But I can't really think of anything else that I would want to be doing right now. So. And
like you said, you have a small window. Might as well get it done now.
Exactly.
Have you tried like float tanks or
anything
like that?
I've never tried a float tank, but it does sound interesting.
It's crazy.
Cryotherapy, pretty cool.
Yeah. We live in Cleveland area. You don't really need cryotherapy.
I know.
Most of the
right. Just go outside.
We did I think it was last year. We did on my birthday. My wife got us a trip to the float tank, and you go in there for 90 minutes, and it's completely dark. You're in this tube. There's no music. There's no light. There's no nothing. You're just floating in 1,000 pounds of Epsom salt-filled water.
Really?
And it's so big that you don't touch the sides, and you just kind of
float.
You float and don't realize the time is going by, and 90 minutes went up fast. But you have. It's great for thinking because there's absolutely no distractions at all.
Right.
And you just are in your head, and I couldn't tell you if I fell asleep or not. I don't know what state I was in, but I got out of there just feeling fantastic.
Really?
Totally relaxed and ready to go. And then we got out of there, got dressed, and we went over to Texas de Brazil, and it was just like, so you had this 90 minutes of just relaxing, and then it's just all this meat and rum. And
wow, so, I don't know if I could do that. I've one, I'm claustrophobic, and 2, I'm I cannot sit still to save my life.
I can't sit still either.
Yeah.
I'm not claustrophobic, but I have a hard time sitting still. Like on a Sunday, we don't do much, and it's like, okay, let's go do something. Let's go. We gotta go shopping. We gotta do this. Let's get moving. And I feel like I'm wasting the day if I'm not doing something.
Same.
But it's worth a try just to kind of mellow you out. Sauna or anything like that?
Yeah, we do sauna. I also have massage. I have 2 girls that I get massages from every week. So usually one on Thursday and one on Sunday. Just
regular massage. Are they doing like scraping?
They're deep tissue, and they do. I think I probably still have some cup marks on my back, cupping and needling.
I had a bruise on my neck from cupping. I don't know if it's still there, but
they
were doing because my chin's always tucked, so she had to loosen those muscles. She put these little tiny cups on my neck. It was crazy. But
and it helped?
Yeah. I was
great.
having elbow pain from, what they call it, thoracic compression syndrome or something.
Okay.
So I was having elbow pains because the nerves that were coming through my neck.
Oh, okay.
I'm 45 years old, and I've been doing this shit since I was 12. So everything's
wow.
something's always broken.
Right, something always hurts.
So this is what you can look forward to in a few years, just being
I can't
crippled.
Wait. Yes, it's already begun. So whatever.
Yeah. Lots of bumps and bruises.
Yes.
It's cool that you do like that long warm up recovery mobility session, though.
Yes.
We didn't know about that stuff when I was your age.
And I didn't know about it the first 3 years that, I was doing this. Actually, when Josh started at the gym in 2015, we were writing our own programming every day, just thinking of like the absolute worst things that we could come up with. We had no structure at all, and didn't warm up really, like maybe stretched and then got right into it. But realized like that heart rate spike is like not the first thing that you want to feel. Like you want to get your heart rate up before you start your big session. So
I just started riding a spin bike for 10 minutes just to get moving,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't, again, it goes back to being a little bit ADD. I can't lay on the ground and roll on a foam roller. It just, I want to go. So at least I do something like, I'm getting my heart rate up. I'm burning some calories here. And then I can go actually do my workout.
Exactly. It helps for sure.
Yeah, it's something, right?
Yes.
So is the Open still this year the same deal? Was it 5 weeks?
Yes, I believe. I mean, they haven't really said much, but I think it's still the same. 5 weeks, one workout per week, and then you have from Thursday to Monday to get the workout done and do it as many times as you want or can. Your body will.
And that's always rough for people who have anxiety and competitive nature. I can always get a second off that.
I know, and that's what I've done in the past. Like, filmed all my workouts, kind of sat down, went over them, and like I remember one year, like I'm kind of psycho, but I had a paper and like I was writing, like, okay, this transition took me 4 seconds. If I just take off 2 seconds here, like 8 rounds, like that'll. So yeah, that's kind of the crazy things that I do.
People don't realize that, Like I look at some of the way these gyms are set up, and they've got the rower here and then the barbell all the way over there. I'm like, what are you doing?
That's not going to work.
Put everything next to each other.
You're right. Yeah, exactly.
So what was it like actually making it to the games as a competitor? I'm in Madison now. Here's your bag full of Reebok shit.
Yeah. That was actually the coolest part.
I had Paige Powers in here the other day, the team third place finisher. And she's like, I got all this Reebok stuff.
I mean, obviously competing was cool, but you walk into like the spot where you check in and there's this huge like Reebok area that you walk into and you tell them your name and they bring out this huge box and they open it and they're like, everything has your name, your number and your name on it. And then they stand outside of the changing room, making sure everything fits you perfectly.
Oh, so you look good on TV. Yeah, that makes sense.
And if something's too big, they're like, oh, we'll just sew this real quick. I'm like, this is the coolest I've ever felt in my whole life. But yeah, that was awesome. And then just being out on that field was like unlike anything I've experienced before. It was really, really cool seeing my family and the whole gym. Were
you in that huge cut on day one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
God, that's brutal.
The first workout was rope climbs, which didn't go that well, and I wasn't expecting that. Like, when they announced that workout, I was so excited, because I love rope climbs, I love heavy snatches, and running is fine.
What's a heavy snatch look like for you? Like, what are we looking at PR-wise?
I've hit 200.
Nice!
Yeah. But in the workout, I think it was 145 maybe for reps.
That's a pretty huge percentage.
Yeah. So some girls, they were struggling just to hit that weight. So I'm like,
70% of max.
Yeah. And then I didn't realize that the rope climbs were going to be the thing that kind of caught me up. So yeah, there were legless rope climbs, 15 feet.
Ooh, yeah.
So yeah, first round was great, and then once your forearms kind of go, you're a little bit screwed. So
how many did they cut on that first day?
They cut to 50, right?
They cut 250 from like 135, right? Half the field they cut?
Yeah, half the field, and then after the first event, so I made that cut, and then second workout was great. It was handstand walks, rowing and kettlebell push press or something like that. And that was great. I think I was, top 20 in that workout, but the first workout was too far behind, so I didn't make the first day cut, which was sad.
How do you feel about that, the cuts? I know that some people bitched about it and some people didn't care, and I mean, it's I'm kind of torn, but I've never competed, so.
I mean, obviously I would have loved to make the first day cut, but other than me, like, I just felt bad for the people who came from, all the way across the world to get cut on the first event. So at least I would like them to see, like, people at least make through day one and then maybe start cutting on day two. I think that would be nice and fair.
Yeah.
But it's CrossFit. It's not really
nice
or fair.
It's very Dave Castro, right?
Yes.
I mean, when you're a SEAL and you've gone through BUDS and your whole thing was trying to cut this 100-person class down to 10, by the end of it, I get where he's coming from.
I get it. Yeah, for sure.
I've never competed in it, so I can't really say. I get both sides of it. I know I saw Annie Thorsdottir was pretty upset, but I think you get pretty upset when it happens, and maybe looking back on it 3 weeks later, you go, okay, I'll just do better next time.
Yeah, that's all you can do. I think I went through like all the stages of grief.
Yeah.
I was angry, I was sad, and then
and it's a roll of the dice too, because maybe they throw something at you next time where you just murder it.
Exactly. And that's the great thing about CrossFit is, I mean, you train all year the best that you can in every aspect, and it all comes down to this one workout, so you really have to just be ready for anything. So I've been doing a lot of rope climbs since the games.
Well, and okay, so if you look at it from that perspective, you'll come in this year, and even if they don't have rope climbs, you've got significantly better at armless or at legless. And they can't do armless rope climbs,
that would be kind of hard. Yes.
Yeah, legless rope climbs.
Yeah, and Rich Froning, what happened his first year, he couldn't get up the rope, so I had about 25 people tell me that. I'm like, I know, it just stings right now, because just didn't want to let anyone down, but everyone assured me that I didn't let them down, so it was all good.
I mean, just to make it to the games is the first time, I think, to make it to the games, just like making it to regionals, is just, it's a huge accomplishment. Yes. How many people can make it to the CrossFit Games, that are doing, you have, 10,000 affiliates worldwide with 100 to 400, 500 people in each affiliate. And
yep, thousands and thousands, so.
Now, I don't understand. They must lose, I don't know, but you would think, looking at it from a business perspective, they must have lost a ton of money by doing the Open and getting rid of regionals, because I would have done the Open as a 20-something-year-old just to see if I could get to regionals, and now if there's not, it's like, why am I going to give you 30?
Right.
Like, we're going to do the Open this year, but
yeah,
I'm just going to take the workout, put it on the board, and whoever wants to do it can do it.
I think that was the mindset last year. Yeah, and I think they did lose a bit of money, but now making it so you have to kind of do the Open in order to qualify for any of these sanctionals, I think that will
wonder
bring people back.
What kind of kickback they get from like Wadapalooza or something. They've got to get something from them to be a sanctioned event.
Yeah.
CrossFit don't give you nothing for free. You know that as a gym owner.
That's for sure. Yep. The good old, just to call yourself a CrossFit gym is expensive enough.
I have to be really careful about it, because we were an affiliate and we aren't anymore. But as much as I love CrossFit athletes and I love the CrossFit Games, dealing with CrossFit HQ can be super sketchy.
Oh yeah,
because we had. Do you remember Lindsay Nelson became Lindsay Kelly? She was on CrossFit Conjugate Black a couple years ago when they took second. It's like her and Sam Dancer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So she was on the show where we first started, and we put, we did the podcast, and on Instagram I tagged it CrossFit Girls. I got a letter from CrossFit HQ like immediately, like, you need to take that down, or we're going to sue you.
And I'm like, on it.
Like, she's the CrossFit Girl. I'm not getting anything out of this, but we took it down. Oh, God damn! All right.
Yep. Before Route 18 was affiliated, I think we were called like Route 18 Fitness or something. It was too close to the word CrossFit, so we had to change.
What happens is the people around you that are jealous rat you out.
Oh yeah, I think that's
guarantee
what happened,
that's
actually.
How we got, because CrossFit is not looking at the Refined Savage Instagram page. They care less.
Yeah, so
So one of your competitors was like, "Oh, fuck them, they're
Damn
not
it.
CrossFit yet."
Yeah, I think that's actually what happened.
And you're supposed to. That's in the contract that you're supposed to rat people out,
Yeah.
which I didn't find out till later. I'm like, I signed a contract that said I have to rat people out.
Right.
I'm like, all right.
Just pay the fee, whatever.
Yeah, pay the fee, keep moving.
Right.
But, as far as the games, man, I love the games. I love watching the games. I'm so impressed with the athletes, and there's my path was a lot different when I was in my 20s, going into Highland Games and stuff. But man, I can imagine I was such a meathead coming out of high school that would have been so attractive to me if that would have been available in 1993 or whatever.
Right.
And it's hard to resist. My son right now is 14, and if he wanted to go that route, I mean, he's one of these kids that just does everything. He's super fit, super athletic. But I wouldn't be upset if he decided to go that route instead
CrossFit.
of
Yeah, I know. I wish I would have known about it earlier. Like maybe, I don't know, in high school. I don't know if it would have changed anything, but
it's cool to have that team division now.
Yes.
We had Paige Powers in here on Friday, and she took third last year. And their gym, I think it's called Barbarian CrossFit in Michigan. Oh. They've had 3 girls qualify for the CrossFit Games as teenagers, and she took third. And it's like,
they're doing something right.
That's what I said. I said, "What's your coach's name? And get him on the show." I'd like to hear what he's going. I bet you, your husband has gotten better programming through watching you compete. I would imagine, learning what works, what doesn't.
I think so, and I think we use Misfit also to program our gym, and I think once he saw how much better I got once I had structure, we changed the whole programming of the gym, because, I mean, it was night and day from me just making my own workouts to actually, like, following a strength program that got progressively heavier as you went. So we now do the same thing with our gym.
You can't be afraid to once you find something that works better, you can't be afraid to switch like that. And that's, I think a lot of people get stuck in this mentality that they have to do what they've always done.
Yes.
And our program right now doesn't look anything like it looked 3 years ago. Now, I do all the programming on my own, but I found a better way to do it. And I experimented on myself and a couple of our coaches first, and I'm like, oh, this is working. So then I started moving it into our regular classes, and lo and behold, everyone's body started changing. And I was like, all right, cool. Then this is the way we're going to do things.
Absolutely.
And if in 2 years something catches my attention that I think will work even better, we'll experiment again.
Absolutely. Growth experience for sure. Yep.
Yeah, so that's awesome. You guys are doing that. I had no idea that when I had you up here that you guys owned that place. I've driven by it like a million times.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah, stop by
anytime.
Stop
in one of these times.
Yes. It's pretty cool.
Bring my Erin down there and do some training.
It reminds me of your gym a lot.
Inside.
Rugged and
So when we started, that signpost there that says the Cleveland Avenue Ludus, we started in my 20 by 20 garage.
Oh, shoot.
Leaking roof, freezing cold in the winter, blazing hot in the summer.
Yes.
And then we moved into our 1,000 square foot. We kind of brought that attitude over, and then we moved into this place. It was like, I kind of like this cave atmosphere.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, just get in there and get it done. And, I can't have ferns in the lobby or anything like that.
Oh, yeah. There's a few CrossFit gyms in Medina, and, to each their own. Some people like to have the more fancier.
Yeah.
Things,
well, it depends on your demographic. Like Black Flag, if you go on Black Flag, it's beautiful in there. But they deal with some pretty high-end people in Avon.
Yep.
Those are some teacup with the pinky finger up,
Yeah, so people like different things. Yeah. We're definitely a more rugged gym, but we have a lot of fun. That's, I think, the most important thing. Our coaches are great, and our members really, really love our coaches, so it's huge.
I love it. How many coaches do you have out there?
We have 2 full-time coaches, so one in the morning, one in the evening, and then we have 3 part-time coaches that will do like 1 or 2 classes on the weekends, or like our very last class of the night.
Yeah.
So people love all of them, all 5 of them. And Sophia just got certified. She has her
L1 now, so she went down to get the L1.
Yep.
How was that experience?
It was good.
Yeah.
It was for starting.
Get your face closer to that microphone.
For starting CrossFit 2.5 years ago, it was really something.
Yeah.
You think that you're like doing all the movements right, and even like with the coaches like telling you, like, it's just a different kind of experience and how they explain it there at the seminars.
They rip you apart.
Oh my gosh, I was sore like I've never been before.
That was tough.
Yeah.
Doug, oh shit, I should know his name. Man, I can't remember his name now. Doug Chapman. So he was one of the first affiliate owners. So he's like super old school. He's up from Michigan, and he was one of my coaches down there. It was him and Lynn. I can't remember her name either. Anyhow,
okay.
He was great, and it was funny because one of the girls, one of the CrossFit Games athletes who was our proctors or whatever, was trying to teach us front squats. Well, I have no front squat front position at all. And so I'm holding this PVC pipe here, and she's trying to get my arms up, and I'm like, I don't have that position. And she's like, no, you just got to get your elbows up higher and let your fingers go. I'm like, look, that is my mobility in my wrist. I can't push my hands back any further than that. And I see Chapman walking across the room because Doug's kind of a big, jacked looking dude, and he's older than me. He's probably 50. And he comes over, and her name was Lindsay. He's like, Lindsay, he doesn't have that position. Like, his body does not work that way. And she was like, oh my God.
They don't realize that. A lot of men, they don't have that flexibility at all.
I tried learning to walk on my hands, but
your arms don't even,
no, they don't extend. My wrists don't extend. Well, so it's kind of hard to walk on your hands. Every time you go up there, you get pushed right back. That was super frustrating. I had a gymnastics teacher tell me that. She's like, how do you expect to walk on your hands? I was getting all frustrated, falling on my head and all this stuff. She's like, how do you expect to walk on your hands when your arms don't work? I'm like, well, I didn't realize my arms didn't work until you pointed it out to me.
A lot.
I wish I could do that, though. I'd love to be able to put, like, handstand walks in my programs. I think it's so cool.
It's so fun, I'm
going to get a muscle up, though, one of these days. It'll happen.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. So we're getting ready for the Open. Get that in the books, and then you'll decide where you're going as far as a sanctioning event if you don't make the top 20.
Yes.
I like it.
That is the plan.
And we're going to get to CrossFit Games this year and make it well past day one.
Yes.
I like it. Good. Well, anything else you want to talk about?
No, thank you so much for having me. That was fun.
We'll do it again. Let's get you to the games, and let's do it again after you do it. Maybe I'll come down. I'll come down to Route 18. We'll do it down there, and we'll get a workout in.
Yeah, sounds great.
Awesome. It was great meeting you guys.
Nice to meet you as well.
All right,
thank you.
Been the Refined Savage. See ya.